that I die legend. Yeah, son God, homie, I'm reverend. Preach, just protecting my investment. Ask about me, integrity's not a question. Straight up, all the way up, with the same ones that was down from the jump. Day one, same ones.
Okay, so spoon fishing for smallmouths. Kind of a new thing. We got onto it in 2020, I guess. Won a few tournaments, 2020, 21, 22, 23 on it. Just a great way to catch a big fish. You know, sometimes when they're out on bait, smelt, ciscos, lake herring, whatever, they're really hard to catch. Like, you really need to fool them. And it was just, you know, one of those things we tried, and I'll still never forget the first tournament we put it to use. I spot locked after I caught one and told Bree to go throw it up front, and she went like 30 for 30, and we could not catch these fish before. I caught one on my first cast, and then she proceeded to go 30 for 30. Just an awesome, awesome bait. We were leading the tournament too. We had 22 pounds that day, I believe, and just amazing fishing memories I'll have forever. But run through the setups, the different spoons. You know, it's evolved a bit over the last couple of years, and you guys could take what little tidbits you enjoy out of it. So I got 2 spoon trays. Walk you through the different ones I use. So we'll start with your standards. Like this was the, you know, the two original ones that we were using. They're made by Nichols. Lake Fork and the Ben Parker. This one actually comes in 2 sizes. Let's see if I got the other one here. Yeah. So you got 3 options right there. Color is like important, but not as important as you'd think. You know, the shattered glass works good, chrome works good, white works good. So you got your 4, your 5, and your 6-incher. The 6-incher falls really slow. These ones, tail walk back on a 45. Pretty much anywhere you cast, it's gonna go flutter backwards at a 45-degree angle. Not a whole lot of difference. I don't see myself using the 4-incher that much for some reason. I usually use the 5. When I'm using this bait, they're usually eating bigger bait fish. It's usually the 5 and the 6. So these are the 2 original staples. You know, I actually just kind of leave the stock hooks. I don't doctor with them that much. They have swivels built on. Awesome baits. You need different rod setups for each, and I'll walk you through that. So for both of them, I use braid, a Suffix 832, because it actually sinks a bit. So when you're fishing these in deeper water, you want that braid that's not gonna float up and affect the bait. If you're using a braid that floats, just imagine this bait's down X number of feet, your line's floating up, you have all that line pendulum to pick up when you try and hit one. And on top of it, with it fluttering, you got this fluttering, your line floating, just not good. So I always use braid. I use 30 pound and 40 pound 832, depending on the spoon. And I use a really long fluorocarbon leader, 20, 25 pound fluorocarbon leader, depending on the spoon. But very simple. My leader's probably 10, 12 feet long, maybe longer. Sometimes it's right to my reel, so you got 7.5, 14-foot leader. Basically match the bait. I've seen it where they're eating bait so big, you have to use the big one. And you'd think to yourself, smallmouths can't get that. Oh yeah, they could eat all of that, no problem, twice over again. Since then, some spoons have came out. You're gonna see these released in North America very soon. I think maybe even this month. That's the Jackal counterback spoon. This one's really nice. They say, you know, counterbacks, but the Nichols does as well. It's just a little bit different cup, a little bit different fit and finish. I find this spoon flutters a little slower, which I like. Sometimes the Nichols really cuts and goes down. So if I'm fishing in deeper water, definitely the Nichols is great. This one, a little slower flutter. So, you know, if you really want to entice those fish, this might be it. If you're just fishing, probably the Nichols. These are only available in one size. Come with some nice nano-coated hooks. So for rods, my rod consultant is Alex Davis from Gunnersville. Everyone knows him. He's a rod geek like me, so when it comes to the real nuancy stuff that isn't really well known or often done up here, I usually ask him. So he told me to get this X-Bride 7.7 heavy, but it's real moderate. So you can see it's got that, you know, nice deep moderate bend to it, so you don't lose those fish. And for the big spoon, this rod's been awesome. Love it. I don't use it on the 4 and the 5 though. But the big ones, this is what you need. You need some, you know, a little more meat. The 4s and the 5s, I bounce between 2 different rods. 904, which is actually the same rod I throw a frog on. So it's a heavy, fast, real parabolic heavy. I just think it works great. And then even sometimes I go to the 893, which, you know, has an even better deep bend to it. So it's all preference on that. I think you gotta basically use a rod that compensates for how you drill them. And you know, it's a 50-50 bait. You're gonna land half the ones that bite. So try and figure out the rod that gives you the best landing percentage. Always use a high-speed reel. I actually use Cerados on these. I like Cerado 200s on all my spoons, and been pretty foolproof setup for me. So check it out if you know some place. It works on every lake up here. There's not a lake I haven't made the spoon work. Anywhere they're on bait, commands a bigger bite. Try it out. It's pretty fun. It's one of the funnest bites in bass fishing. Smallmouth on big flutter spoons. And then this is another one. Nichols partnered with Bass Mafia to make these. A little bit different shape. I haven't fished them yet. I'm looking forward to it though. You know, same, just any shiny color is good in my opinion. But let's see, this is the original Nichols that everyone buys. This one's just a little bit different. Been selling a bunch already. Curious to see how it works. It's got a good, you know, bit better hook on it. Even just buy one spoon, try it out in the fall. Works the best in the fall, and such a fun bite.